You don't think we're making 16,000% on our own knowledge? My daughter called me a while back and said, Dad, and she's super smart. She's do anything. You become a veterinarian, doctor, brain surgeon. She's crazy smart. I married my wife and adopted her. My wife was a widow, so genetically she's not mine. But when she gets into trouble, my wife says, "That's all you, Tim Burgett." But she's an exceptional little girl. And she said, Dad, I think I'd just like to cut hair. And I was like, right on, girl. You go and do it. And that's what she does. I mean, she's going to school to do that. So I cashed out my $11,000 portfolio, which was a mutual fund, because I think, and I don't own any individual stocks, but I think that members of Congress ought to do that. That was my bill. You don't own more people have played professional baseball than have ever been in Congress. It's a very tight. And I tell people, if you don't get off that dadgum plane and look at that Capitol and get chill bumps, you need to get your butt back on that plane and go home, because we don't need you there. And everybody knocks on Pelosi, and I know that. But out of the top 10, you know where she is in the amount of trades?
Where is she at?
Number 11.
Really?
She's not even in the top 10, dude.
Well, she should get a better PR person.
I know.
It's crazy because everybody uses her as an example.
I know, but she don't care. I mean, if you were making 16,000%, would you care?
Oh, I would be a little concerned that someone would come for me.
She's all right.
Well, it's just bizarre that it's legal. That's the most bizarre.
Oh, it's not right. I mean,
right.
It's not right, but it's legal. And I just said, look, you cash out everything, you put it in a mutual fund. And I know they got this bill, and everybody's all fired up for it. And I'm not. I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Which bill?
They got a new bill. They don't like my bill, mine and Luna's bill, that says that you can't own individual stocks, just own a mutual fund. They're going to let you keep your portfolio. So, and some of these cats got a $20 million dadgum portfolio.
And they make $170,000 a year, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine the average person out there making $170,000, and all of a sudden they make $100 million in the stock market. Like,
and we're involved. Not all of them are crooked. Some of them they are geniuses. I've been in Congress with some real geniuses. But if you see, I'll give you a case in point. All right. And I've said this many times, and nobody's come after me and said, they told me to quit saying it, but I don't care. I got a dadgum First Amendment. I don't care. They come to East Tennessee and try to beat me. But they, if I forgot what I was saying now, man. I've lost my mind. I guess that's the part you have to cut out.
Oh no, we were talking about insider trading. We're talking about the amount of money that people generate. That's where we're at. We're talking about bills.
Someone's a genius, really good at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I forgot it. I've got so many one-liners in my head, Joe. I should have written all these down. But anyway, they all, not all of them are crooked. Some of them are really that good.
I'm sure.
But I know what it was. It was when Russia invaded Ukraine. I haven't voted for a dime for that. It's not our dadgum war. I keep my dollars here. We need to defend our own dadgum borders. Well, Joe Biden, for better or for worse, gave Ukraine basically our missile defense system. So immediately we had to replenish our missile defense system. Now, who do you think owns stock in those missile defense systems? Members of Congress.
Yeah.
Members of Congress. And apparently some of them had bought it at fairly close to those time periods. And so, I don't know. Are they doing something crooked? I mean, you can't prove it.
Well, if it's not crooked, they know things that would help them.
And
they know things are
remove
coming.
all reproach.
Yeah.
And if you got a $20 million portfolio or whatever, some probably have more than that, good and dadgum well, you're going to vote. It's in the back of your mind, you're going to vote to make my investment worth a little more.
Yeah. So the possibility of financial windfall would probably make people play ball, which
100%.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Sure,
I mean,
it's
if
human
you
nature. You got guys up there that they got expenses at home, got a couple kids in school, got payments on a house, and $170,000 doesn't go as far as it used to, I guess.
And just human nature. You want more. People want more. They want, whatever it is.
And a lot of times it's not them investing, it's their their wife or their spouse, and
Yeah.
we've seen cases of that where, a 16-year-old kid is doing pretty well.
Right. And it's the child of someone who has some inside information. There's something that just came out yesterday about Ro Khanna. This guy, Kevin Bass, on Twitter posted this big, this examination of his stock trades and how much money he's made and how he's made it and what he's done. It's just all over Congress. You have inside information. That's what it is.
That's disappointing. I know Ro. But,
I don't know if it's true.
I don't either. Yeah,
you could pull it up if you want, Jamie. It's Kevin Bass, B-A-S-S. It's Bass or Bass. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. But he made this very detailed post about it. But, that's just one example of one person who's profited. I'm sure it's probably minor in comparison to the other 11 that are ahead of Nancy Pelosi.
I sleep on my couch in my office, and I shower in the gym. I don't have a place. I can't afford it. It's too expensive up there. When I got elected with a guy one time, and he said, when we got elected, he said, "Hey, Burchett, I just paid $1.2 million for this place. What do you think?" And I know he was just bragging to me, because no way I could do something like that. And he said, and I said, well, probably in a couple of years they're going to say, "I can't believe you only paid $1.2 million for it," because the price of that real estate up there is just crazy. It is crazy. And it's a rich man's game. It is really a rich man's game.
And the problem with being around rich men is even if you're rich, you don't feel like you're rich if you're in comparison to them. And so if you're worth a couple million and this guy over here is worth 50, you're like, damn, I got to up my game. And you're in this sort of culture, culture of a bunch of people that are investing a bunch of money and making a bunch of returns.
And I'll tell you, it was a public meeting. I remember it was in transportation. It dealt with some technology in an airport, and it was pretty cool. And I just asked the question. I said, is your stock publicly traded? I was watching people see what they did, and they all looked up, and I thought, note to self, call my broker when I walk out of here,
It's just very odd that has been legal for so long. That's what's very odd.
It's disgusting. And here's what we're going to do. We'll pass some bill, and the Senate will pass another bill, or Thune just won't take it up, which is we're seeing a lot of now. Just won't take anything up, and it'll die. And we'll all go back to our people and say, "Oh, look, I tried to do this. I voted for this bill, but I didn't get a dadgum break.
Yeah.
And look how tough we are, and they'll all be up at Kennebunkport sipping expensive wine and toasting each other on their great financial choices."
That's where Bush is from, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're from Kennebunkport, Maine.
Yeah, I just threw that one out. It's the only place I could think of. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for somebody like me would be pretty cool.
So one of the things about this disclosure thing, the documentary Age of Disclosure, and you're in that. It's really great. If you haven't seen it, folks, and you're interested in the UFO phenomenon, one of the